Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's so good to be here with you. I'm Jenna, for those who don't know me, and I'm recording this short video today to invite you to join me in a 9-day process that I'm going to start on July 13th. And I'm going to be posting videos here on the YouTube channel that you can follow along with. But I wanted to give you a heads up about what's coming and ways you can participate at home on your own, and in ways you might want to think about the upcoming full moon. So this 9-day process is what I'm referring to as a goddess Purnima process. That is a play on Guru Purnima. Guru Purnima is a special event that happens every year. For those who have studied advanced yoga or are familiar with Hinduism, you might be familiar with this. Guru Purnima is a full moon that happens every year in July. And it's a particularly auspicious time to work with the gurus in your life, to work with any teachers that have been important to you, and to work directly with our source connection to co-create. So this is a really important time for co-creative practices. And something I've heard in the past is, if you have a wish or a desire or something you're working to manifest, this is a really perfect time to make that ask, to work on that manifestation process, to connect with your team and spirit, and to connect with source consciousness to help bring that to pass. So this year, as I was thinking about how do I want to celebrate Guru Purnima, what feels important to me this year at the particular stage in my life and spiritual process and path that I've been on, how would I want to do this? And I was thinking about this idea of our embodiment of source consciousness, our embodiment of all of the creative principles of this universe is really about embodying the goddess. And the goddess being the divine mother, the feminine aspect of creation, which holds all of creation within her. So our universe is inherently feminine. Our universe is a representation of a divine feminine creation that also contains really important masculine aspects also. And when we learn how to work with both of those aspects, the feminine and the masculine, we can then enter into a really powerful co-creative time in our lives. And so I've been starting to experience that in new ways, in ways that are really exciting. And I thought, this year, as I prepared for the day of Guru Purnima, which is on July 21st, how would I want to do that? And I thought about some preparatory ceremonial meditation work that I would want to do in preparation for the day of Guru Purnima, which I'm now calling Goddess Purnima. and that's not to detract or take away from any important teachers in our lives, but to recognize that the goddess, source, the universe is our ultimate guru. And when we start to work with the universe and her aspects of consciousness, in ways that will work with them in this 9-day process, we can start to experience really incredible manifestations, really incredible ways our reality shifts and changes and alters to bring our divine destiny to pass. So this 9-day process is about creating a container, creating a lead up to the day of Goddess Purnima, which is a full moon. And so I thought I would invite you to join me in this. This is something that I want to share. I want you to get the benefit from, and I want to be able to guide you in your process, your practice in a way that will be supportive for this co-creative effort that you might want to engage in this year. So So be thinking between now and July 13th, if you plan to do this with me, be thinking about what are you bringing to earth? What are you wanting to create in your life? What are your asks of the universe? What would be helpful for you? What would be helpful for this world? What are you excited about in terms of your ability to contribute in this world? Start thinking about all of those things, and the way in which we move through this process doesn't have to feel like a big deal. It doesn't have to feel like a lot of pressure to manifest something. So I also want to throw that out, that this is a process that you can follow, you can practice in an open-ended way too. So one of the things I like to focus on when I'm in a manifestation or co-creative process is the idea of my highest cosmic destiny coming to pass, the highest and best good for all involved coming to pass, and for the healing and transmutation and alchemy that will allow us to return to states of harmony and balance where we can have a more beautiful experience of reality together. So if you're not exactly sure what it is you're going after in life or wanting to create, or who it is you're wanting to become, even just starting in that place of intending for your highest cosmic destiny to come to pass, intending for your divine plan, the divine plan that's meant for your soul, intending for that highest level divine plan to be made manifest in perfect timing in whatever way is right for you and for the collective good of all. So that's kind of a low pressure way of starting to work with the universe and allowing the universe to show you potential paths and to show you maybe some next steps you might want to take in life. So let's talk about the 9-day process for a moment, and then we'll talk a little bit about ways you can participate. So this is free. This is, again, going to be posted on YouTube, so you can follow along at home. We'll start on July 13th, and there's a link below in the show notes. So if you want to read about this and see the schedule of events and what we'll focus on each day, check that out. But we'll start on July 13th, and we'll start by activating the 4 directions. So we're going to be working with the cardinal directions in this process. Each day, for the first 4 days, we'll be working with a different cardinal direction. And the purpose of this is to work with kind of a medicine wheel technology, because each direction supports us in different ways. The south direction can support us in releasing the past, releasing baggage, releasing karma, helping us let go of old stories, helping us let go of old paradigms that maybe don't feel true for us anymore. If there's something we need to let go of to allow for our highest cosmic destiny to come to pass, the south direction will help us with that. So we're going to start there and just set the intention to let go. So you might be thinking between now and then, is there something you've been holding on to emotionally, physically, even in your life that it's time to release? And we'll talk about this in more detail on each day, of course. And so we'll start there. And we'll also start by doing some honoring of Mother Earth and Father Sun on the first day. So we'll be working with the masculine and feminine principles of creation throughout this 9-day process, with the ultimate goal of arriving on the 21st in perfect divine union. We're going to be bringing those masculine and feminine aspects of consciousness together on that final day, where then we'll be engaging in our big co-creative effort together. So on the second day, we'll engage the west direction. And the west is all about helping us face our fears and helping us reconcile our feelings about death and letting things die away, or maybe fearlessly stepping into our transformation. The West direction can help us with that. So we'll be calling on the West direction on the second day. And we'll also start to work with the masculine divine father aspect of consciousness on this day. For those who are familiar with the Dattatreya figure or representation of divine masculine consciousness, this is partially what we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with the keeper of the lower world, the keeper of the middle world, and the keeper of the upper world. These are three realms of consciousness that we can learn how to navigate and work with. And these keepers are the three aspects of Father consciousness, the Dattatreya aspect of Father that helps spin energy into creation. So these three aspects of Father that guard these three worlds help us connect with the past, help us find present moment awareness and peace and stillness, or help us connect with the future and with our destiny. So when we learn how to work with these three aspects of Father consciousness, which we'll start to do on day 2, we can start to have a different relationship with time, and we can start to tap into aspects of our past that might be influencing a less harmonious experience of our current reality. And we can start to adjust how the past is informing the present, and we can start to connect with the future, and we can start to align ourselves with a more destined timeline for us, and allow that to also help inform the harmony, synchronicities, changes in physical reality that need to happen in the now. So this is not something you need to already have experience with. This is not something you need to know about in great detail for you to get benefit from the practices that we'll do during this 9-day process. All you have to do is show up, follow along at home, take some time, make sure you've got about 30 minutes for each video, have about an hour each day, ideally, that you can just sit, be in stillness, allow what is coming through for you during these practices, allow that to integrate, allow yourself to work with it on your own at home. But you don't have to know all of the details about how this works for it to be beneficial for you, because I'll be guiding you through this each day. And what we'll be doing is some meditation practice. We'll be doing a little ceremonial work together. And as we do that, and as we call on these different aspects of consciousness, the 4 directions, these Father aspects of consciousness, the keepers of these 3 realms, we're going to be starting to create the conditions in our energy field that allow us to, on the final day, have a more powerful direct connection with source energy, with source consciousness, and will allow us to be operating in a state that is now more conducive for our ask, our desires, whatever we're intending to come true in our lives or for this world. We will have done the work those first 8 days with all these different aspects of consciousness to position ourselves in the best way possible to get the best benefit out of the day of Goddess Purnima. So on days 3 and 4, we'll continue working with that Father aspect of consciousness. We'll work with the North direction and the East direction. The North helps us start to align with our soul and all of the things that are right for our soul and all of the gifts that our soul carries. And the North is where we start to receive more guidance from Spirit. We start to recognize what divine will is intending for our lives, and we can start to receive more gifts from spirit as we work with the north direction. We can start to commune with our ancestors and our guides and our team of gurus and masters in spirit in easier ways when we're working with the north direction. So we're going to be activating these directions for that purpose also, and to ask that the four directions continue to work with you in benevolent ways, in ways that are right for your soul. And what you'll learn as we go through this process are things that you can easily incorporate into your practice at home. So again, this is something you don't have to come into with a ton of experience. Just follow along and you'll be able to take elements of what we do together and continue it on in your own practice. And then the 3 days before the day of Goddess Purnima, we're going to be working with 3 aspects of feminine consciousness, of goddess consciousness. So we're going to be calling in the Kali aspect of consciousness to support us in benevolently destroying things about ourselves or limitations or beliefs that are standing in our way, of embodying our highest destiny, our highest version of ourselves. So we're going to ask Kali to help us with that. And so, when we think about this fierce kind of destroyer aspect of the mother of feminine consciousness, it's nothing to fear. We can work with her in highly benevolent ways. So we're going to call on her for that. And then we're also going to work with Tara. So we're going to work with green Tara and start to lean into our more merciful, compassionate, giving aspects and ask for her consciousness to work with us in bringing our dreams to life and bringing our heaven to earth. And then we're going to work with Goddess Isis, this emanation of the Divine Mother, being one who is very sensual and magical and knows how to operate in supernatural ways. We're going to call her in and ask for her help in supporting us in this final co-creative process on the 9th day. And so then on the 9th day, we're going to take everything we've done from those previous days. We're going to be working with the 9 planets, also calling on their aspects for benevolent, helpful support, powerful support in this process. We'll do some unity and oneness work together. And so we'll take all of the 4 directions, the 9 planets, the father aspect of consciousness, the mother aspect of consciousness, and we'll bring it all together on the last day, and we'll co-create, and we'll make an ask. And I'll hold this container for us with the intention that the Divine Mother blesses you and supports you in bringing miracles, miraculous manifestations to life for your good and for the good of all, knowing that when your good comes to pass, it allows you to support this world in more beautiful ways. Your good becomes everyone else's good. And if we hold that intention, and if we also hold intentions for the healing of this world, for the harmonization of this world, for our collective highest cosmic destiny coming to pass, I know that this process will be supported. We'll also be working with 2 mantras throughout this process. And we'll talk about those in more detail on day 1 to kick off the process, but be prepared to spend a little time on your own each day using these mantras. Ideally, if you're able to commit the time, saying these mantras out loud or silently to yourself in your personal meditation practice for 108 repetitions is really ideal. If you can't do that, start with 9. If you can do multiples of 9 for however much time you have, that's great too. So those are a couple of options for how to work with these mantras. These mantras are about activating our power within. They are about supporting us in purifying darkness and negativity that we're carrying, about helping our most beautiful dreams come to pass, and about ensuring success in our relations and ensuring success in our personal divine union. So these two mantras are going to be highly supportive for all of the work we're doing in this process. You can learn more about those at the link below as well. And these are two mantras that I've been using. I found them in an oracle deck called I think it's Esoteric Japanese Buddhism, and there's a book that comes with it, and these were listed in the book, and I've loved them. I've been working with them for a few weeks now in preparation for Goddess Purnima. So I'm already anchoring the energy of these mantras. So everything we're doing here together, you can think of it as I've been doing a lot of what we're doing in this 9-day process already for a while. And so I've been anchoring these energies. I've been anchoring these states of consciousness for us. And then when we come together and do this kind of condensed version of this 9-day process leading up to the day of Goddess Purnima, I'm helping to create and hold this container for the successful outcome, the successful resolution of your process. So one thing to note is that when we do a process like this is like the kickoff. So this is the start of how the universe will then begin working with you to manifest your highest destiny, or manifest your ask, or continue co-creating with you in different ways. So know that, sometimes our co-creative efforts or our manifestations or our asks don't always come to pass immediately. Sometimes they do, it depends. We can ask for some support in certain timing if that's helpful, and we'll do that on a certain day with Divine Father. But sometimes, these processes take a while. So this is a kickoff. This is an investment that you're making. So when you think about carving out, an hour each day, or an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever you got, if you think about carving that out each day for 9 days, that is an investment in your future that you're making. And that is a commitment that you're also making to the universe, a commitment to yourself that you're willing to put in that time, to put in that effort, and to follow through with what then starts to take place afterwards. So I should also share that when I've done this sort of process, when I've been in this sort of co-creative process for something, let's say it's like a really, really, really big life-changing thing, like a really big boon, that could take a while. Like that could take a year, that could take 2 years. Let's say it's something maybe a little smaller scale, that isn't, so life-changing, but would be really beneficial and supportive for your path. Like maybe you need a little extra help with some money to be able to take a course that's then going to get you a certification that is then going to help you, move on to the next steps. When I've done stuff like that in the past, that might be a more immediate, reflection from the universe that comes to pass. So keep that in mind, that, when we do this sort of thing, we can have our idea of timing, we can have our idea of what would be ideal and what we would love to experience, but this is co-creative, right? This is kind of like a 50-50 effort that we're putting in 50, the universe is putting in 50. So we also have to trust that the universe knows the highest divine plan. The universe knows what's up. The universe knows what's best for us. The universe knows how to rearrange physical reality to get certain things to happen in perfect divine timing for the good of all. Right? So this is also about trusting timing. This is about trusting the process. This is about committing, investing this time in this 9-day process, and then surrendering and staying open and being excited about what's to come and following the clues. So just keep that in mind as you're going through this. And what else? What else is important? Oh, if you aren't able to start this on the 13th, let's say you've got like a conflict and you need to start a day or two later, or let's say there's a day you can't follow along that day and you need to, skip a day and come back to it the next day, that's okay. We're going to call on Divine Father's consciousness now. We're going to ask that the Divine Father aspect of the universe that supports our mastery of time, we're going to ask that your timing sync up with my timing, knowing that time and space is just an illusion. And so as I'm anchoring this container, as I'm anchoring the work we're doing each day leading up to Goddess Purnima, no matter what timing you do it in, you are synchronized to my timing, okay? So that's how we're going to handle that. So that's a non-issue. Just try to keep it close if you can. That would be ideal. Just so you're kind of in the energy leading up to that day and can really feel the potency of that day. But again, we're going to let the universe support us in synchronizing the timing so that you get the benefit no matter when this is happening for you, no matter when you're following along. Okay, I think that's everything that you need to know. And if there's anything else that I feel is important to share leading up to the 13th, I'll post another video. Follow the links below. Make sure you've got quiet space where you can just be alone, be with yourself, be in nature. We'll be doing some ceremony, meditation together every single day. And then I'll also be giving you some homework, some takeaways that you can continue to do throughout the week that will just help us get ready, help us get in the zone for the day of Goddess Purnima. So I'm so excited. I'm excited to share this with you, and I'm excited to offer this as part of my process. Like this is something I'm so grateful to be able to share. And so I share it freely because I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for this incredible universe. I'm grateful that as humans, we're learning, we're remembering how to work with the universe. We're remembering how incredibly magical and miraculous and gorgeous this universe is. And my intention is that this process helps you experience that and helps you develop the relationship with the universe and yourself that supports your absolute highest good and your heaven coming to earth. Okay, so with that all being said, I'll see you on the 13th. The videos will get posted first thing in the morning. They'll be available probably about 7 a.m. So that's Pacific time. So check them out when you're ready, and email support@starfamilywisdom if you have any questions throughout the week. I'll be checking the YouTube comments so that we can stay connected and I can answer any questions that you have. Okay. Bye for now.